or whenever you are delivering any particular assignment or when any presentations, you must moderate your tone. And when we say moderate your tone, you must give emphasis on the right word. And use the magic switch of smiles. Again, it's talking about smiles. That means a normal smile and a very happiness type of smiles can change the whole scenario. That's why you should keep on giving smiling. Do not have the gloomy face all the time. Okay, so apart from this, I must say that we all must think positively. The smile can come on the face only when we are positive from inner. So if our inner is clear, we'll have this smile on the face. If you are all the time thinking,
Renu, are you not feeling that? You may leave. You may leave, no problem.
next please. These are the words of Winston Churchill, who was the Prime Minister of UK during the Second World War. So what he says, let them know that you think that they can be trusted and they will be trustworthy. Shaming, threatening or advising are not the right kind of things. What is the right kind of things? Let others know that you trust them. And this shaming, threatening or advising will make the matter worse. So it's essential that we must have the trust in our own team, our own organization, our own country. Then the things will improve. Next please. How do we create a good impression? Setting the tone of the meeting or anything is most important. So when we talk about Chitra, how does the Chitra start? A Paricharcha? Or for that matter, how does a particular committee start their presentations or the meeting is the most important things. That sets the tone of the entire encounter or entire meeting. So if we are discussing a particular business, let's talk in a business terms. If you are discussing about some sports things, let's start discussing in the similar manner. And if you are casual, let it be in the casual manner. And what we need to see that what really we want out of this particular meeting. That is this important piece. Next please. Now everyone will have some opinion about ourselves and we will have the opinion about others. And we should not judge based upon the opinion itself. We should judge on certain actions. So when you smile, the other person may say yes to you. But how do you bring that? First ask very simple questions. If you are in a business meeting, don't straightway go into the negotiations. Go with the small things. I will give the example of how the Japanese do the negotiations. They don't straightway talk about the terms of the agreement and other things like the American do. They first create the relationship, then they discuss small things, family matters, other things, and finally they discuss about the negotiations. Pose the question which are easy to answer. How do you feel? How the weather is? How your city is? And how do you get to know about this particular city? And then start asking the real questions. Okay, next please. I think we are getting late. I will little fast. So attracting people with the acceptance, approval and appreciation. That's the three words I was talking. Acceptance, approval and appreciation. The first thing is we must accept the people as they are. That is acceptance. Second is approval. We must be more positive in dealing with others. And we can always find something good in others so that we give approval of that. Third is appreciation. The appreciation always increases the value of the others as well as your own value. So that these three things are very important. We should keep in our mind, let's accept the others as they are. We should never try to change their outlook at the things. But we can give approval of their actions and things in a manner they have acted upon, and we must appreciate. Next please. Some ways to show appreciation, don't keep people waiting. If you are given the appointments, please stick to that appointment. Next, thank you. Whenever somebody is doing some work for this thing, you must appreciate and give thanks. That's why we always write the thank you letter when the particular event is over. So if you are inviting guests, we always must send the thank you letter to them for appreciating their time and their value which they have added to the person. Then treat people as special. The person who are closely working with you, you must treat them as a special person and recognize their efforts which have been put in by them. Next please. So learning to communicate effectively, I think everyone sitting here will agree with what is being said here, and I think everyone knows how to communicate effectively. I will skip this. Next. Listening. Tanushree will agree more with me in this because she is teaching communication all the time. Speaking is as important as listening to others. I must say, listening is more important than the speaking. So, how do you increase your listening power? If you are impatient, start doing meditations. If you are good in listening, you will be good in delivering also. So, patience pays always the efforts. So, must give patience hearing to others, and then you can do that. People will tell you what they want if they listen to them. That means, first you have to listen what they are saying, and then you can ask what they can do. Next. So, practice the art of listening by following pointers. Look at the person who is talking. Appear deeply interested. Lean toward the person. Ask questions so that they know that you are listening. Don't interrupt until the whole conversation is over. Stick to speaker subjects. Normally we see in the TV debates also the topic is something else and they start speaking something else. That's not the right kind of things. Then use the speaker's word to get your point across. For example, the debate is going on something and some previous speaker has said something. Find out a particular word from that line and then you start your argument. Next please. Getting people to agree.
So before this, there is just a one-liner which is a forwarded message going around on WhatsApp. Listen not to respond, but to understand. Yes. I think we all have to understand this.
Okay. Chapter 9, getting people to agree. So there may be some situation where disagreement may arise, but we have to finally find the common point and agree on the certain points. And you think that ego is a threat? We do take the ego as a threat, but ego is a part of emotion. So we have to understand in that manner. And never think that ego can be hostile things. You can think in another way also. So let the ideas flow freely, and that is possible when you keep the ego aside. So only way to win the argument is the influence or change the mind of others. Either you change your mind or let them change their minds. So when we sell ideas, we must appeal to subconscious mind. This is more in case of marketing and other things, rather than the human relation. Next please. So if you want to win arguments, allow others to state their case first. Let them tell whatever they want to say about their particular thing. Pause before you answer. That means you start thinking what you have to say on the basis of what the ideas have been put by the previous party. Don't insist on winning 100%. It's like give and take. You give something, you take something. Next, state your case moderately and accurately. If you are dealing with a certain situation, put the right kind of the statistics into that. Speak through the third parties. Sometimes it's not necessary that you directly deal with them. You engage some third party who will deal with them, and then you can give your decision based upon that. Allow others to have face saving. That means the arguments can never be one-sided. Others should also feel that they have achieved something. You also should feel that you have achieved something. It's like give and take. Next. Giving praise. Very important. So why to give the praise? Because it gives you energy and new life. When you look at these small kids or even below 5 years or 6 years, even if you just give a small pet, they feel very happy. This is human nature. So we have to nurture that human nature. And let me tell you, all are very small kids when we talk about the giving praise. Everyone needs that. Okay. And give the credits. Give credits, give recognition, and give a praise. So this you can do with yourself. Face the mirror and see the miracle. Miracle doesn't mean you have big things, even a small things. That today you look very nice. You have understood this thing very well. You have done this particular things in a nice manner. All small things can create miracle. Then be generous with the statements. Conducive nahi karna hai when you give the praise. That's what I want to say in this. And don't take it granted that people know that you will appreciate it. This is normally happen that we start thinking, अरे उनको तो पता चल गया होगा, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया. No, you should specifically say that you have done a very great job or very good job. So be generous in that. Next please. So how do you say thinking? Thanks should be sincere. अंदर से आनी चाहिए. It must come from the heart. Don't mumble it. Speak up clearly. Thank you by name. नेहा ने ऐसे फरासी में बहुत अच्छा काम किया.
पर नेहा को भी तो थैंक यू बोलना चाहिए ना, सबने सपोर्ट किया. You should always be like both sides.
Yeah, it's both sides. So that's why I'm saying that if you want to give credit, give the credit by name. Look at the people when you are thinking to them. Thank people when they least expect it. That is most important. If you are in a particular situation where you think that you are not able to come out, that is the right kind of thing when you need to give them. So, first we say that we will skip and go to the last one. No, last one. Criticizing others without offending them. You can criticize them by politely saying, I'll say visit Lucknow. If you want to really understand,
I visit you.
that's what I'm saying. Visit Lucknow if you want to criticize somebody in a polite manner. In whole India, that is the only place you will find, even if somebody wants to criticize you, they will use very generous and very nice words. I had many friends who were with me in Air Force from the Lucknow. So I learned that thing also.
But sir, I have a difference of opinion.
Yes.
Just by using right words cannot make your intent correct. So here perhaps we are talking about the intent. The intent should be to
Criticize.
give the person, while criticizing, giving the person the scope of improvement, not to humiliate or using right
So
words
that's
and
what he
then,
says. If
then
you use
disrespecting the person.
If
Like
you
no
use-
वाले सर अच्छे words use करते हैं, the intent should be checked.
If you want
No
to,
other point is.
if you want to criticize, do criticize, but do not humiliate. That's
Humiliation
important.
नहीं होना चाहिए, not in any case.
And the first thing is criticism, as I said earlier also, praise in open and criticism in practicing. That's important. Prefer criticism with a friendly words. You may start criticism. Before starting criticizing, you must say some good words before that. Set the tone, and then you can speak about that. Next, please. Take criticism impersonal. Criticize the act, not the person. महात्मा गांधी ने भी कहा था ना कि उसको मारा, उस चीज को मारो, उस इंडिविजुअल को मत मारो. That's the same thing. You criticize the act, what act that person has done, not the person. Supply the answer. So if you are criticizing someone, you must give the right kind of answer. What was expected? Ask for cooperation, don't demand. One criticism of offense. Sometimes there may be small error, you can ignore it. Finish in a friendly manner. Whenever you are criticizing someone, the hand must be in a friendly manner. That the other person is not feeling offended come back to you for the similar kind of things. So it's very important criticize, because that is healthy practice. But how do you criticize? That is important. Human relation method. That's what I must say. Thank you to everyone. Next. I'm sorry for taking a little bit longer time.
No, it's okay. 5 more minutes perhaps. So you're not the last one.
And this, I'll ask Chitra to share this PPT to everyone.
Sir, I have a point because it's a lovely content, and the way you have explained it, perhaps this is relevant to all of us.
Indeed.
Not only to our professional life, to our social life too.
Of
So
course.
can we generate and develop a kind of checklist wherein we can put ourselves onto the test, litmus test. How many things we are doing and how many not. And might be we can someday discuss about it. Our monthly improvement, that okay, these are the checklists checked in the first day of the month, and this is, we are on the 6th, on the first day of the 6th month. So might be it's a kind of comparison, and this is a kind of opportunity for all of us to improve ourselves further. I understand most of us we are professionally sound, but then sky is the limit if we talk about the improvements. So if you can sir develop it as a checklist, I think so that will be of great help to everyone here, and that is the real utilization of this content. So we might can give it to students, because on that day when I was talking about Paricharcha, sir, please answer. So, sir was asking me, like, okay, you are having the book review, but what is the further utilization of these book reviews? Why are you doing it? What is the purpose and takeaway? I think so. This is the kind of takeaway we have. Chitra has already developed a checklist on doing today, and hopefully we are going to circulate it very soon to everyone. And that is for your users. Nobody is going to keep a check and do follow-ups. It's not something which goes with compliance, and there may not be repeated reminders for that, but then onus is on you. It's for self-improvement. बोलने दोगे बैठ जाओ. Okay, so now everybody is I feel like they are overloaded with content and discussions. We are left with the topic of today. One nation, one election. So how many of us would like to discuss it? Nobody? Chitra, your agenda has been contained. कुछ तो करो अपने agenda के लिए. Sell it properly. Art of dealing with people.